I know. Another lengthy break, but I kind of needed it, and plus, it's a little it's not. Okay, how can I explain this? It's basically school shit. All right, it's basically school reasons. School has been locking my ass up. I can't even do a little bit of recording. Like trust me, I really want to record, but it's like school's been on my ass. Finals is literally next fucking week. But yeah, once all that shit's out the way, expect way more posting. Like at least a video a day, at least. But anyway, oh yeah, your boys got some art now. Like your boys finally in the 2D realm. You know what that means? Step by step, eventually your boy's gonna be in 3D. So hey, we'll take it one step at a time. 2D's okay. 2D's okay. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. And so yeah, damn. You take a break and you forget how to do what if. Alright, so essentially this what if I got in my head is essentially going to be what if Naruto was in Ninja Gaiden? Oh, Ninja Gaiden. For y'all OG like hack and slash games, y'all should know what the Ninja Gaiden series is. Fun game. One of the best hack and slash games of all time. Easily. But yeah, let my ass stop rambling and get on to the story, because that's what y'all here for. Y'all want the juicy parts of the story. Anyway, let's get on into this. So, today's the day, October the 10th, the 5th anniversary of the Kyuubi attack, where Minato Namikaze defeated the Kyuubi at the cost of his life. But this is not a happy day for a certain 5-year-old boy who was walking down the street completely unaware that he was about to go through the worst beating of a lifetime. His name was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. So he turned into a corner only to be met with a mob of people armed to the teeth with any weapon or item imaginable. When they saw the blonde, just hatred and rage just took over. Before Naruto could even do anything, a sword was struck in his chest, and the pain was so intense that Naruto haven't felt anything like this before. So he just collapsed. And so the mob cheered as they began to stab, slash, beat the blonde while ranting, "Kill the demon," and "Avenge our Yandane," while they continued their onslaught. And so a few minutes later, Naruto just lay there, motionless in a pool of his own blood, while the villagers cheered in killing the so-called demon. Inside his mindscape, Kyuubi was growing frantic as the warm light of her host's life started to fade fast. These fools, they do not realize what they're doing. I can't allow myself and this boy to die like this. I refuse to die like this, she cried out as her eyes grew red, as she started to use every single ounce of her chakra to help the boy. But then her body froze, and a memory from a long time ago came back to her. One where she was a true monster, who was hell-bent on causing utter destruction and never-ending chaos. That was when her soul and chakra was ripped from her body in a last-ditch effort to preventing her and implanting a unique gift in the largest fragment of her power. So the villagers continued to cheer until they heard something, and so did many others all across the elemental nations. A sound so familiar to the roar of thunder, but the roar was so loud and powerful, it reached the ears of everyone in the nations, and They all wondered, what could make this such a noise that shook the entire elemental nations? Just as the roar ended, a select group of people called Jinchuriki screamed. They screamed in sheer agony as if something inside of them was just being ripped apart, ripped through, as the containment seal placed on their bodies, and all fell one by one as the biju that was sealed in them erupted from their body in great pillars of different colored lights. So as they saw these lights, they were awestruck, as they did not know what was contained in them, as they streaked across the sky towards one location, Konoha. Now, the mob grew more fearful as the powerful roar echoed through the skies, and 8 pillars of light struck the boy they had just attempted to kill. Now, the light was silverish white and it shot up into the sky. The mob and Konoha watched as the light formed over the boy's fallen body and started to form into a dome. They all had terrified looks on their face as a large shadow figure just hovered over them and growled dangerously. This creature had silver-colored scales as they glistened in the moonlight all over his body, and had black scales that started from the bottom of his jaw and near the end of his 10 tails. It stared down at the frozen and frightened villagers with its silverish yellow colored slitted eyes and just snarled at them. It appeared a pair of razor sharp ivory colored teeth that were the size of a full grown person. It had a crown of horns just curved backwards and 2 large ones. In the middle of his head was a blue gem, series with spines started from the back of his neck to the ends of his tail. And it had a pair of powerful front and rear legs. As when they saw this, one of the villagers was like, wait a minute, no way, no fucking way, as the creature was a dragon and it wasn't happy. What the fuck is that? The villagers asked as he trembled under the gaze of the beast. It's a dragon, another one answered. The dragon slowly opened his mouth and smoke escaped from it. Pure white flames with golden outlines danced around in his mouth and reared his hair back, and before the mob could even react, the dragon unleashed flames that were even more powerful than the flames of the Amaterasus. But instead of the flames reducing them to ash, it set them ablaze as they cried in pain, withering in agony as the flames slowly burnt their flesh. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Hokage of Konoha, arrived and approached the dragon with a look of awe on his face as it watched its victims suffer until it turned to him and looked at him. It then looked down and saw the villagers writhing in pain on the ground. Your law was ineffective, human, the dragon said as it glanced at the old man. And because of your law, my host nearly lost his life, and I too would have if I didn't have become whole again, it said as one of his tails slowly wrapped around the unconscious blonde and the silverish white energy surrounding his body started to heal him. What? Hiruzen asked. Who are you and why did you call Naruto your host? It's true that I have changed, old man, said the dragon, sounding both amused and disgusted at the same time. Your so-called villagers, your citizens, your people you try to protect the most, have called my host a monster and done things like this to him since the day he could walk, but they are the true monsters, she said, glaring at the villagers who flinched and trembled under his gaze. Now, I shall take him away from this world, beyond the reach of those who wish to harm him, and you should know that the 9 Biju are no more, and I am the new Biju, the Biju no Shiruya, the dragon said, as Hiruzen was awed and terrified by the great dragon's presence and what it had said. It was now the new Jubi, and the villagers would suffer greatly for what had just happened right now, as he wondered what this great, powerful creature meant by leaving this world with Naruto. And as if reading his mind, she answered, Naruto will no longer be happy in this world as long as these parasites such as your advisors and that man called Danzo exists, along with these bigoted humans in Konoha. And so, those are affected by the flames shall not die, but shall receive the pain Naruto has taken until they redeem themselves. And yes, there are other worlds out there, and Naruto will be beyond the reach of anyone from this world. He'll be better off away from here, and despite your attempts to help him, old man, you have failed, and so have your supposed godparents failed as well. I'm sorry, Hokage, but this is the best choice for him, she finished. As Hiruzen couldn't help but admit she was right. He failed to uphold his duty as Hokage, and so did the boy's foster parents. Sarutobi nodded as the villagers massed around the dragon, all armed to the teeth, ready to attack it, until Hiruzen spoke. Stand down, dumbasses. Do you honestly think you can defeat this force of nature? She's way more powerful than the Kyuubi, and if you wish to wipe this village from existence with your bigotry, stand down now or I'll execute you myself. Hiruzen roared because he had enough of how these villagers acted, thinking that they could just take on a creature that was on par with a god. They all stood down, not wanting to face the dragon's wrath, as she smirked. I guess your fire hasn't dimmed down yet at all, huh? The dragon said, as Hiruzen nodded. I apologize for their foolishness, Ryu. And I ask for you to spare this village, and if you think taking Naruto to a different world will help him, then he should go and no longer have to suffer. Making him stay here will only cause him more pain in the future. Also, his full name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and everything his parents left for him is in a scroll that is sealed in his left arm by his father. He finished, getting a shocked looks from everyone. Thank you, Hiruzen Sarutobi, and make sure to deal with those fools and show them why you're Hokage, she says as she spread her large black wings. I will, and when Naruto awakens, tell him that I'm sorry, and I wish for him luck in his new life, he says as he getting a nod from her, as her entire body glows and brightens to the point where he and everyone had to cover their eyes. And in the flash, Jubi and Naruto were gone from Konoha and the elemental nations forever. Now, we gonna cut to the Hayabasha ninja village in the forest. Now, in the forest was a woman in a white kimono with red flower patterns, as her name was a Shiruya Hayabasha, the wife of the current Hayabasha clan head and master ninja Joe Hayabasha. Right now she was picking some herbs, in the moonlight forest. Watching her from the shadows was a man who was the leader of this organization, Joe Hayabasha, the current Hayabasha clan head and ninja master of the village. Now, while the couple had been married, full of love and happiness, they both desired one thing all married couples desired, and that was for a child. But sadly, she couldn't have children due to a chemical that the sorcerers of the Black Spider Clan unleashed during their last ninja war. The council suggested that he remarry, but Joe refused to do that to the woman he loved since they grew up together. Now, while they pondered how they were going to have a child, a large flash of light got their attention as Joe leaped out in front of his wife with one hand on the hilt of his blade he had strapped to his back. And while the light faded, their eyes widened in amazement because standing a few feet away from them was a giant 10-tailed dragon. What in heaven's name is... Joe said to himself as the dragon looked down and noticed the two humans looking at her in awe as she lowered her head until she met their gaze. "Hello, humans. Do you mind telling me where I am currently at?" she asked the two stumped Hayabasha members who finally snapped out of their trance. "Oh, you're in the forest near the Hayabasha Shinobi village in a country known as Japan. If I may ask, what is your name, Great Dragon?" Joe asked, deciding his words carefully. Even though this dragon wasn't an evil person, her power was on par, if not stronger than a demonic person or a fiend deities, and he did not want to infuriate her. "I am the Jubino Shiruya, but you can call me Hakume. And the reason I ask is because I am not from this world, nor this dimension, but from what I can tell, you look like a ninja, and this world seems to be more advanced in military grade than the world I'm from," she stated. "Anyways, I would like to ask a favor from you two. And what would that favor be?" Hakume. Shizuru asked, as Hakume brought one of her tails down close and it slowly uncoiled, revealing a Naruto who was asleep with 3 large scrolls near him, as the woman gasped as when she saw him, especially when he was wearing nothing but rags, and Joe's eyes widened in surprise. In the world he lived in, that boy, along with 9 others, were treated as if they were creatures that shouldn't have even been born. Instead of explaining the whole thing, I'll give you a glimpse of what this boy and a few others had experienced. Hakume says that her eyes glowed white, which made Joe and Shizuru's eyes turn the same color. And in 20 minutes, the couple was experiencing several emotions. Amazement that the world the boy is from came from had shinobi, which was the start of a man known as the Rakundo Senin, who saved the world from old Gibi and split its power into 9 creatures known as the Jubi, and about the ninja who had the abilities to manipulate the elements and possessed abilities known as bloodlines, but afterwards they were disguised and enraged at, disgusted and enraged at how the people in the villages acted towards Jinjurikis and treated them as weapons or monsters that shouldn't even exist, as Shizuru had tears in her eyes, falling from her eyes. Afterwards, she walked over to the unconscious boy, picking him up and held him in her arms. You poor boy," she said quietly. Joe, on the other hand, wanted to tear those fools apart for treating such an innocent boy as if he was a monster. But Hakume saw how they reacted towards the things they saw and was smiling inwardly, and knew these two would make good parents for Naruto. His parents, Minato Namikaze and Kushin Uzumaki, gave up their lives and their son's future to save a village of ungrateful fools. and I couldn't allow him to stay in the world like that. So I used every ounce of my power to rejoin the 9 Jubi once again, and I was reborn as a being who stands before you now. She explains while the two couples looked at Naruto. Now, as for the favor I was going to ask you earlier, is that I wanted you to take the boy in, train him in your ninja arts, as the couple's eyes widened at her request. Unlike most humans, I can tell you would treat the boy as if he was your own, and when I looked into your thoughts, I found out you couldn't bear any children, she said to the woman, and that Joe wanted an heir, otherwise the dragon bloodline would die with you. Since Naruto is my vessel, he will possess my version of the dragon bloodline, which will make your clan stronger than it ever was a long time ago. She stated while they taking in information. And after thinking about that, Shizuru and Joe looked at each other and smiled and looked back at Hakame. Hakame, we would love to adopt Naruto into our family, she said while Joe nodded in agreement. And yes, he will grow up to be a great person and a ninja under our care, Hakame, he responded. I know he will. And I will also be training him in ninja arts from his world as well as his family's techniques. She looks at Naruto sleeping, a smile forming her face, This boy is destined for greatness, just like his father was. And I'll make sure his legacy lives on, even if it's not from his world, she said, as she vanishes into the light. Now, that's where I'm going to end it right there. You tell me what you guys think. If you want more, you know what to do. Run them likes up. But yeah, I'm gonna try to post more often. Like, I'm really enjoying. But my school schedule and my normal life schedule combined with my work schedule, I gotta balance all that shit while trying to make videos at the same time. So yeah, I do the best I can, but right now, that's all for me. I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching.